What's up, guys? It's your boy Aaron, aka Don. This is episode 9. Today we have a special guest, CEO and founder of VBI, Caleb. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. How's life, man? I know we just jammed a little bit before, but how's life?
It's good, dude. I hope to be able to tell you in like a month, 2 months, what we've been up to. Like, the past few weeks have been absolutely crazy. So if I look like a zombie, it's because I am right now.
We've been grinding. Yo.
Yes.
So, like, you guys, this is a question that just came to my head. Esports Awards just happened. I think Paper Crowns got the award that you guys were also nominated in that category for. How's, I don't know. I think VBI is probably one of the first to be in the scene as heavy as you guys are. So how is that now having like even more competition and handling that?
It's actually good.
Yeah.
So we think about competitors really positively. Like, most people are always like trying to knock their competitors and this and that. Like, at the end of the day, like, before everyone got involved in this, like, the pie was literally this big.
Yeah.
Now we have all these players in the space. The pie is this big.
Yeah.
So if anything, we welcome even more competition. And like, we're in a really weird position, or it's a good position to be in, because we don't just focus on like custom design stuff. We have people that we work with, influencers. We have the marketplace. We have like people who we had a real estate guy who came to us and has like no idea what he's doing to stream, but he picked up a pre-made on our marketplace, and now he's into it now. He's like addicted to streaming, the whole process of getting designs, and essentially work those folks up like through a funnel of like, maybe a custom design is right for you, or maybe it's not. You just want to like keep rolling through like different designs and on the marketplace. So at the end of the day, like, more competition is better for us. It's better for the customers, and a huge congrats to Paper Crowns for taking home that award.
No,
well deserved.
I think I've told somebody this earlier. I was like, I think the esports and gaming scene, we have enough gamers. Like, we know that. Like, there's just a bunch of gamers, right? Like, you can still be, like you said, like, you can do retail and still game and stuff like that. But I think what we all need right now more than ever is like graphic designers, editors, web developers, and stuff like that. Because everybody's now trying to make content, all right? So it's like, okay, who's going to create, or I don't know, create the vision of that creative's content and stuff like that, and it's you guys, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely. And we're like you and me, we are the lucky ones right now throughout like this pandemic and everything else. Like, a lot of people aren't that lucky, unfortunate. So all the creatives and everyone in gaming got to be feeling blessed right now.
And I know you said you guys have something happening in 2 months. I don't know if you want to drop it on the podcast or anything. You know what I'm saying?
I can't. I wish I could. I can't. I can't. But I promise you, when it does drop, it's gonna be huge. It's like the biggest thing that we've ever done. So this is something we've been pretty hush hush about it for a while, and I'll just leave it at that.
Listen, that's enough to get me too excited for, like, I don't know why it's that with me, but like, my mom said she had a surprise for me yesterday. And it was just eggnog, but I was just excited. I'm like, okay, what is it? It's like, my mind is like now trying to go through it, like, what is she's going to give me? But like you said, me and you are very, lucky and privileged to have this opportunity of what we're doing now. How has 2020 affected you as a CEO, trying to navigate, employees through a year like, this one?
Mental health, man. Like, prior to the pandemic, that doesn't really affect us. Like, we've always been 100% remote. So like, while there's a lot of agencies or like companies that are like, oh shit, now I have to be like working from home 100%, we've been doing that. So that part, there was no change there.
Gotcha.
But when you get people that are staying inside of their house, staying at their desk, like hours and hours and hours on end, there's a little part of you that starts to go stir crazy. You have to, like, in my shoes, you gotta start worrying about like people's well-being. It's like, you need to step away from work. You need to go like chill with your family. You need to go play games or do whatever else, because I can tell that like it's affecting your work essentially. And like, you don't want people to just be like work, all day long. You want them to have that work-life balance. So that's been probably the biggest change for me throughout this pandemic, is like, you've got to like take some time at the end of the day to focus on number one. And sometimes, it's a good problem to have, but we get so caught up in our mission of like trying to do right by our clients and come up with these awesome ideas that we forget to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, no, 100%. I can fall victim to that. Like, I feel like I'm telling everybody this too. I am Plankton. Like, when you're younger, you're like, why does Plankton date a robot? And now that I'm at where I'm at, it's like, I understand that. It's like I have 2 monitors. Like, even when I'm not working, my face is still in front of a monitor because I'm watching something or playing video games or something like that. But how do you handle your wellness?
Not well, to be honest. Like, it's like,
honesty is key though, right? Like, awareness of you not being like doing that's step 1, I guess.
Yeah. And what I mean by that is, like, last night, for example, I had a crazy busy day last night, and all day, and I think I did like a 15 hour day. And at the end of that, I just wanted to, like, stop, unplug, and chill. Like, I'm all about zombies right now in Cold War. I grinded for my first gold camo on there.
Yo!
I don't have any time, so for me to get a gold camo, that was a huge deal. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to chill and play that. And I'm like, wait a minute, I've just been sitting here for 15 hours in this chair working. I damn sure don't want to sit here and look at screens again, for the next 2 hours, whatever else. Plus, I'm tired. But when I go to bed, like, I can't turn it off. Like, I'm still sitting there on my phone. I'm still trying to, like, catch up with stuff. So it's a blessing and a curse,
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, you just, as soon as you said that, I was like, damn, that's me. Because literally, it's like, all right, you have the PC station, but then I have the MacBook. And when I'm in the bed, it's me, my phone, and the MacBook. Streamer, Twitter. And I'm like, and I'm like, I'm staying up, and the guys, when I'm in a meeting, they're like, why did you post at 5 p.m.? Like, because I'm just consuming all this content. And I'll be like, yo, I need to put this up first because it's going to be hot. I don't want anybody to post it. And they're like, yo, you stayed up? Did you wake up at 5 or did you, like, I'm like, nah, I haven't even gotten no sleep yet. And I think it's super dangerous for me is, like, I think working over 1 o'clock is me working hard when it's like, no, you're like, you're trapped and you need to go to sleep and stuff like that. And so it's really, it's not really safe, I guess. So yeah, no, I get that.
It's the reality of what we live in right now.
Yeah. No.
And like you said, awareness is key. And there's times like this weekend, promise you, I'm gonna unplug. I'm headed to go grab a bottle of bourbon tonight. I'm gonna unplug. I'm ready. But during the week, man, it's a lot. Because like you said, if it's not your phone, it's not your workstation here, it's the Switch, it's playing mobile games. I don't know, it's something.
No, 100%.
And I don't know, it's the day we live in, I guess.
No, let's get a little nutty here though. Future esports and gaming. We already know it's going to be the next big thing, or it is the next big thing. But how do you feel about, I say this a lot, I feel like digital designers, editors are like the fashion designers of the digital world and stuff like that. When I go into meetings and sales meetings, they're like, then like this is going to happen instantly. And I'm like, well, digital world doesn't work as fast. It doesn't work as slow as real life. Like, things can become doubled or tripled way faster in the digital world than, real life. So what do you see coming in the future of like just esports and gaming or just digital world as a whole?
People are laughing right now at this VTuber thing.
Oh yeah.
That's next, honestly, for our field. You have people like Corpse Husband. We don't even know what this guy looks like.
Yo, I know.
There's an amazing voice.
Yeah.
And we're like in this new age of like faceless YouTubers, faceless gamers, and they're killing it.
Yeah.
And so by having like the creatives behind all this, in my opinion, is the next big thing.
No, 100%.
And I think that we VBI personally, like, we do not work with Dr. Disrespect. However, like, when Dr. Disrespect does something new on his stream, our business blows up that day. Absolutely blows up.
Wait, VBI is behind that?
No, we are not behind Dr. Disrespect.
Okay.
But when he does something new, we feel the positive.
Because you're like the lead in charge and that.
Right.
Okay, I got you. 100%.
Right. You expose like a whole new group of customers who are watching his stream. It's like, I want to stream. I want to be as badass as him and like, have all these 3D scenes and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then obviously like Dr. Disrespect has a team of 3 or 4 people in-house that are creatives like on his payroll. So who else are you going to go to? You're going to go to VBI. You're going to go, to other competitors in the space. And like I said, we're always checking out his stream. Like we know when he does something new that we're gonna feel the effects of that in a good way.
Fire. I think this is a real serious question that I'm about to ask. One day, I tweeted out on 1,000 PM's account, is Apple a dead brand? And when you first look at that question, you're like, do they even know what Apple is, kind of? But the reason that question was asked is because Apple is leading, right, as far as like just innovation and just when they did the showing for the new iPhones and stuff, like that was amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, a lot of people say is with the new iPhones, there's not that much change or whatever the case may be. And I think it's because when you're leading, there's nothing that challenges you to progress at a faster rate. As if you're like, the reason I bet on underdogs is because they have something to fight for. They're hungry. Like this.
Right.
So what keeps you guys, I don't know, inspired or motivated to innovate your craft and stuff like that?
For us, it's like design is still, the barrier's too high for people that don't know what they're doing with design. We think it's too high. And what I mean by that is, when you go to our website, you still have to know how to use Photoshop in order to be able to like go change the text on certain things.
Gotcha.
So why should I expect you to have Photoshop knowledge or basic, design knowledge to do this sort of thing, when just like an Apple product, you should be able to buy it, turn it on, and use it. Simple as that.
Right.
And so that's like when we think about like what wakes us up in the morning, what drives us, is to continue to make that process even easier. Like when you talk about Apple product, Google products, whatever, there's a physical experience associated with opening one of their products, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the material, it's the shine on it, it's the pamphlet, whatever it comes with. With digital products, how many times can you say that there's an experience associated with that?
Yeah.
And I think that like Riot Games, they do it really well. Obviously, there's some really good game developers that do it, but we want to be able to like open up our app essentially. I remember who you are, Aaron. I know like your brand colors, your logo, and all that. And so when you pick a new design, we already got you. We're moving forward, and like it's just super, super easy to put that on your channel. So like that's the kind of stuff that like really gets us going, and we're making really good progress towards it.
No, that just got me going. Like that's just like. And that matters. Like the small details like that matter. Remembering the guy that you just worked with, even though if it was 5 months ago, still having a database of like what he likes and his vision and stuff like that takes, I think, a brand or just a person a long way and stuff like that. But how did this get started, Caleb? Like, I don't know how old you are, but we're just gonna keep it 23. We don't need to know. The public doesn't need to know. We're gonna keep it 23. Okay. 23, Caleb, and you have BBI. How did this get started? Like, was it supposed to be as big as it is now?
No.
Like, no.
How did it wasn't, man. This was honestly, I was around that age when I started it, and this was like beer money on the weekend.
Wow.
So. Like I've always designed and stuff since I was like 12 years old. Always had Photoshop, always kind of knew what I was doing there. But then like as I was working a full-time job in cybersecurity, I was out there on the East Coast. Wow. And I would come home from work every day. I'd watch Twitch, and like you're watching all these people stream, and the designs that they use were atrocious. And like we're not talking about like your streamer with 1 or 2 views. We're talking about people with thousands and thousands of views. And here they are getting all this sponsor money. They're getting these brand deals and all this, but their designs are just straight up trash. And so I got to thinking like, who else is doing it in this space? Like, if I'm a streamer today, and let's say I use my money from my day job to drop some coin on a new design, who do I go to? And I started looking around. I'm like, there really isn't nobody. I'm like, why don't I start doing this? So I would start selling like overlays on the side, like $1, $2, and then it essentially financed like beer on the weekend for me. And we started to see like really, really quickly that like I couldn't keep up with the demand, even doing like those $1, $2 overlays or taking on custom projects. I couldn't keep up with it.
Now, why was you charging $1 and $2?
Because I didn't have an audience.
Gotcha.
No one knew me.
Gotcha.
And to be honest, at the time I wasn't that good.
Gotcha.
And so like continuously getting better at your craft, and you can't come out of the gate swinging and say, hey, pay me $100 for this crappy overlay,
Yeah.
or this design. So over time, obviously got better, and I started hiring people to help me out with the caseload essentially, and we couldn't even keep up with that. So we started increasing prices, and we're like, surely this will like filter out people, kind of get people to calm down,
Mm-hmm.
allow us to manage what we have on our plate. And that didn't work either. So it's like no matter how much we raised our prices, the demand continued to roll in and
That's
roll in and roll
crazy.
in. And so, I mean, fast forward, I went from the East Coast to the West Coast. I worked out at Nike World Headquarters, and it got to the point where I could not stop thinking about VBI
Mm-hmm.
like during the day.
Now, was that the name initially? Because I do know, like
It
I've been
is,
trying to start
yeah.
up a million brands, right? And but the name is never where it's like you get the starting name just for now. But that was the first
Yeah,
name.
that was the first name.
Crazy.
And so my screen name, where that all started from, my screen name has always been Impulse. And so I'm thinking about like back in the day, people were doing like designs by Dave or, whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I was trying to think of something clever and how, when you initialize those, VBI. And it was funny, there was almost like a FBI meme that came out of VBI at one point when like someone wasn't using VBI.
Yeah.
We get on social media, be like, "Freeze! This is the VBI. What are you doing?" And looking back, it's a super lame joke, but
But hey,
um,
memes help. So that was
they
smart of you
do, they
guys.
do, they do. I literally have a book back here from MIT of like
Mm-hmm.
memes and digital culture. Like you can seriously grow your brand from memes.
I gotta get that book.
Uh,
I just gotta. I don't have it right here. But Power is a book I've been seeing a lot of people posting their
hmm
stuff, and I've been reading it a little bit. Sheesh. But
Yeah, I'll have to add that to my list too. Um, but yeah, man, that's kind of like the early days, and the rest is really history. And ultimately, it was like 2019. That's when I was like living like a broke college kid. I mean, I was making good money at Nike, but
mm-hmm.
I was putting all of that money into savings. I wasn't touching any of it.
Yeah,
I was like preparing for this journey because wasn't at the point where I was paying myself anything, for VBI.
yeah.
I was putting all that money back into the team, back into like buying new tools, upgrading our website, that sort of thing. And so took the leap of faith there, and the rest is history, man. And here we are about to announce the biggest damn thing
I was about
in the next 3 months.
bro. I'm about to ask, like, because I feel like you said 2019. You're still living like a college worker
hmm
or something like that, right? And so, like, would
hmm
you say like this is still just the beginning for you and the brand?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
crazy.
there's so many days. I feel like I say this all the time, but there's so many days, especially when I was out at Nike,
Mm-hmm.
when you do like a 8 to 10 hour day at work, and you come home, and then you deal with running a business as well,
Oh yeah,
staying
yeah.
up till like 2, 3 a.m. Some nights.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many days where you have like a customer issue or a team issue or whatever else. You're like, man, I'm just gonna stop doing this. Like I got a pretty cushy job over here. Why would I keep stressing myself out, working these long hours? And so when I would have those thoughts, I'd just straight up go to bed. Like, you know what? Start
That's when
clean
you go to bed,
slate.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You start clean slate next day. Don't think about it, because otherwise you're gonna make a rash decision.
Yeah.
And dude, I can't tell you, probably like 50 times, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. Based on what just happened, I'm done. I'm walking away from this.
No.
But then you sleep on it, and you're like, nah, yesterday, I'm better than that person yesterday.
Yeah, bro. This is actually, and I appreciate this because I've talked to Apaza, who's the editor for Booga. I've talked to
hmm
the team that does a lot of content for Aiden and stuff like that, and they all it's
hmm
upscale, emotional, and I feel like there's a lot of youngsters starting these social media
hmm
managing brands and stuff like that, and I was like, yo, this is super dope to see, but it's also like, I hope the mindset that you kind of had is still there with them, or it goes to them, just because it can be a dirty road when you're like just starting something and nobody else
hmm
understands what you're trying to do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so the support maybe not be from everybody, and it's only coming from you and yourself. And then you're
hmm
like, oh my gosh, like I don't know, but
Yeah. People want like instant satisfaction.
yeah,
Like, I started this thing, and here it is, like 3 months later. Why isn't it successful?
yeah,
It took me 4 years to be successful. I mean, some people hit it off way earlier. Some people take way longer. Like everyone has their own journey. And
Yeah.
so that's kind of what I try to teach to people that are like just getting into this. Like, it's not going to be right away. You do need patience.
Gotcha.
And when things aren't going your way, you just need to chill,
Yeah.
because that happens every single day. Like, you got to develop like that persistence. And I think that's like the biggest trait to have in this.
That's true. Hey, you preach to me too when you're saying this stuff, because I literally get mad at myself when I'm not making like 10 pieces of like TikToks a day. Like, literally, I tell myself when I wake up, I'm like, I'm gonna make 10 TikToks today. Never make 10 TikToks. And it's either because I make the TikTok and all right, let's go, something in the esports and gaming world comes out. Okay, let's go handle this on Twitter, Instagram, and make sure that stuff comes out. But then it's like, let's flip the perspective. You got something done today. That's the purpose of you trying to get 10 things done was just to get something done. And so, like, if you didn't reach that goal, at least you got something done. But what you been playing, bro? What games you been playing? I know you said Zombies, Call of Duty. I feel like you're ready.
You're gonna laugh at the next thing I'm gonna say.
What?
Clash Royale.
No, I'm not, bro. No, I'm not. No, I am not. Hold up. You think? Listen,
I am so obsessed with Clash Royale.
I got Clash Royale. I love this game. They have an esports for it too. I don't feel like people are paying attention to it, but like, bro, this game is so good.
When my fiance, when she hears that sound of Clash Royale starting up, I can literally hear like her blood boiling because she knows that like that's my game. Like, I'm in bed or like out and about. If I get 5 minutes, I'm playing Clash Royale.
Yeah. What's your numbers? What's your ranking this?
I think I'm 12. Level 12.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I play it, but I really don't pay attention to like ranking things. But I do know like I'm nice. You know what I'm saying? I'm nice.
We're gonna have to play sometime.
Yeah, for real. That's crazy you said that.
But yeah, like I don't have a lot of time to play games, to be honest. And so that's why I was telling you, like, last night, you just want to unplug sometimes and just like play zombies, do something mindless, Yeah. But I don't get that chance often. So we have a game night within the VBI team. I think it's like every 2 weeks on a Tuesday night or Wednesday night. We'll get together, just don't talk about work, chill as a team.
And was that the purpose of this? Is like just make sure that it's just something to make sure that everybody's not doing work, and it's just to make them chill.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Build that camaraderie with the team, unplug from work, and then like allow someone to flex their crazy skills in whatever game we're playing.
It's crazy you said that. I kind of want to start a rec league by 1:37 p.m. Like,
that would be really cool.
By the brands like you guys, but also like the CDL team, not the CDL teams, but the social teams.
The people behind the curtain.
Yeah, and just like do something like that. Like let's see who's like really those gamers in the scene right now. But
that's my next bet. We're gonna find the next esport pro based off of something like that. Based on like a rec league.
Yeah.
You're gonna find somebody that's gonna emerge, and the right person's gonna be watching, right person with connections. They're gonna make it, and that's the really cool part about it.
No, 100%. Because I feel
it's not gonna be me though.
No,
I suck at video games.
No. and listen, I think that's important. That is something cool to hear you say. Just because, I have somebody and they're very dope at designing and stuff like that, right? I'm like, yo, but make content around that. I'm like, you can. This is my whole thing around content and stuff like that. Just because you're known for one thing doesn't mean you can mingle in others. Like I make TikToks rating. I did it purposely. I rate controllers. I rate setups. And that was just to get me in the door of having authority to talk about everything else in esports and gaming scene. Right. And so for this designer, like they want to be a content creator for like just gaming and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, do this, and then you can be in that realm. And it's just the fact that I think they're a great designer. Like, bro, you're super good at this thing. I don't know if you're super good at this thing, but it's just super cool to hear you. I feel like you have a lot of awareness. That's all. Like, that's very key.
Awareness is key, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny. I'll get pressure from my own team to like go on our Twitch channel, and like at the end of the day, like I'm a terrible streamer. I'm either like way too absorbed in chat, or like if I'm trying to game something, no one wants to watch me be terrible at games. I definitely don't have like the crazy streamer outgoing personality that a lot of people are successful with. So if I ever stream, it's like once a quarter or something like that. It's always super rare. And then it takes all the energy I have to be able to do something like that.
I know you're not a gamer.
Because it's not me.
But do you have a PlayStation or Xbox? What team?
I got a PlayStation.
5?
I wish. I actually had a dream about buying 2 PlayStation 5s last night.
Jeez, why?
I don't know. I think I was gonna sell one of them.
I don't know. I'm about to say. I mean, you're gonna be paying like a good 2,000 to get both of them.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about that? Right? Like a lot of people think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing that
It's a good thing, yeah.
they're flipping for that.
It's the new supreme of
Yeah.
like what we're doing
Yeah.
between consoles, between Elgato products,
Yeah.
between like the Pokemon cards right now. It's like the new supreme
You
of gaming. Okay, you ready for this?
Oh no! Hold up!
All right, so
Oh
right
my
here.
god!
This is from, now I'm really showing my age though. This is from 1999,
Jeez.
and I have like all of these. I have like the Japanese ones in here as well
Oh my.
that are all holographic, and I've got some first edition somewhere.
Yo, are you got any graded? Are we
No,
collecting? You're just a collector,
I need to get these graded.
bro.
I have no idea what I'm sitting on right here, and I was going through because it's been so long since I touched these. I'm like, how much is a first edition worth? And I was going through, and my dad, when I was a kid, used to work at a printing press, and so he would get access to like all the really cool rare stuff. And so my dad would be like, yoink, and he'd bring it home for me as a Pokemon card that was super rare or whatever. And so I've got all this stuff sitting back here.
Listen,
but
you
I
got
just
a
don't
bigger
wanna
collection
sell
than
it.
I do. I just got, you know what I'm saying? I just got the normies. I'm not saying all that. This is just, these are the packs I get from like Walmart. Nothing special. But I do have like the ones I really care about graded.
Yeah, I don't want to send that whole thing in to get
No.
graded.
Yeah, no, it takes a while.
Doesn't it cost like $10 to $50 per card or something like
I think
that?
something like that. Yeah, I got you though. I can get you in with somebody. I know. I'm gonna have to cut this up the vibe because we can't know everybody. Everybody can't know we got the source. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
But I got you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I know that's something that like that's like when Gary started talking about it. I wasn't on a team as much then. I joined, and then like it's something I really love with just working with these guys. Like they actually like we're nerds. I ain't gonna hold you. We're like nerds. I'm not gonna care. I don't care. Like literally, Tyler, bro, that man got so many cards. It's kind of crazy. I'm talking like just Mbappe cards, soccer cards, to like Pokemon cards and stuff like that. But that's cool.
Yeah, I heard that he's crazy with it. Like
Yeah.
he's super in depth.
Yeah, no, 100%. You gotta watch I'm not even gonna. No, I don't want to self-report, but you gotta watch the what's it called, Card Pod, something like that. They do. It's a lot of informative information. Like I'm not as deep as those guys are, but like when I want to, I definitely like read an article too or watch a video, and it gives me everything I need to know.
Yeah, I need to catch up on that stuff. Like the VMAX, Charizard. I don't even. It's all changing so fast. Like you said, I'm still old school with those. Those are literally from '99. I haven't bought a
100%.
single one since, but I knew like back in the day I was huge into it.
Fire. Now this is the last question. By the way, I'm 19. How old are you?
29.
29. Yo, we
29.
OG. Listen, 29 is young still. Like when you hit the 30s, 30 is still young. Somebody might hate me, but I have to say it. You only get old when you hit the 40s. That's when you're like,
You only get old here.
That too. That's true. That's true. I'm about to say, because you see Mike Tyson fighting in the ring the other day. Like, geez. Like,
That's crazy.
if we're going to be honest, that's my... And I feel so, like, sad. Because it's like, I've always watched it over YouTube and stuff like that. But it was still cool to see, like, this one being a live event and me still having to watch over the screen. But imagine if that was like, you know, Corona was all solved and whatever the case may be, and I could be able to go to see this.
Being in Vegas.
Yes, like, yo. What's your thoughts about that event? I think like that's the future too, by the way. Like, of events.
Like the digital events.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I did watch the whole because it was the same series or the same match, right? Or the same night with Jake Paul, and Nate Robinson.
You watched that?
I watched that part of it. That as a basketball fan, like that sucks to see.
Yeah.
And like you hate how like a meme is born out of that. And in fact, like the first meme I saw out of it, you remember the video when I think it was an NBA All-Star game or something, where they had a woman singing the national anthem and she was like being super extra about it, and LeBron and all the guys are just like, just like cracking up laughing. That was the first meme I saw after that knockout match with
No.
Nate Robinson, of how the NBA is reacting to hearing about this whole thing with Nate Robinson and how he's representing the NBA. Like, man, I remember when Nate Robinson was on the Bulls. He's like, I've seen him in person play. He's like this short little dude
Yeah,
that
and
is
dominating.
just full of energy.
Yeah.
That he would just run like this up and down the court.
Yeah.
And to hear him like go down like that, and that might be like the last thing we remember about him, and this era, it sucks to see. But
Yeah.
I think it brings a lot of people into the sport though.
Yeah.
Like Jake Paul's fans, and that dude is serious right now.
Right? My man called out Conor McGregor. I was like, hold on, brother, you gotta calm down, man. Conor
And
McGregor.
supposedly that's gonna happen, or like they're in talks.
Oh man.
And so that's gonna be a funny fight. Like
Yeah.
just seeing those two come together, and then like thinking about the money that's involved in that.
Yeah. And I think this is good for Triller. Because I
Yeah.
feel like Triller, well, I don't feel like Triller's purpose is this, but I think a lot of people just think that, Triller is the competition, is
Right.
TikTok. I think what Quibi could do is like they can become what Quibi wasn't. And as far as like, I feel like influencers are the new celebrities, at least for the digital world they are, right? I feel like
Yeah.
Charlie D'Amelio hits 1 million likes on Instagram, every single Instagram
Yeah.
post, right? And we don't see celebrities do that on the daily, and they got way more followers than her. And so I just feel like Triller should do something with that, like become what Quibi couldn't be, and do the move of like, okay, we're gonna value influencers. Do another fight like that, but make sure the fight is actually on the app this time, also, because I feel like that could have been something.
Right.
I don't know, but
It is the future though. Who was it? It was Charlie's manager. It's our manager now, but wasn't he at some huge talent agency? He was like leading a huge function at a major talent agency, and stopped managing and stopped his job that he had there, and went directly with her.
Wow.
Like, can you imagine? Like, you have this prominent job at like one of the top talent agencies in the world, and yet you choose to go manage one person and one person only.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like David Dobrik too.
Yeah.
I think he had something similar happen, and like that's the future.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's kind of weird. Imagine being ratioed by somebody that nobody knows their face.
Right.
Like, imagine, like, the corp just be like, ratio. And nobody knows what this guy looks like, but you're about to get ratioed by him. Like, that's, like, next level. But, last question. 5 years from now. I'm going to stop, I'll just ask this on the last part, but I like this question a lot. Just because I feel like a lot of people right now, I see that, I don't like it, but the copy-paste stuff, like, I'm going to delete this on December 31st of 2021, blah, 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 blah. I don't like that at all. This is what I'm going to do, though. Next 5 years, VBI and yourself included, where do you see you in that brand as far as, I don't know, accomplishments, goals, or et cetera, et cetera?
On the VBI end of things,
Yeah.
I see us more in like the technology space.
Gotcha.
Like the cool thing about us has always been like we marry up like design and technology together.
Oh, you
And
guys
so
do, yes.
Yeah, we're gonna continue down that path, and that's gonna continue to be what sets us apart. I think about having like our own platform that manages design and doing some really cool things with machine learning, where like it doesn't even require any sort of input from a streamer to
Yes.
make something pop up and happen on stream.
Yeah.
It's just like always based off of like in-game events. I think that's something you can expect out of us in like the next 5 years, and like more technology.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm right now, I'm finally focused on like building out my financial future, and thinking about me a little bit,
Gotcha.
more so than ever.
Yeah.
It's I've been doing this for 5 years now. Got a lot of great opportunities in front of me, so it's time to take care of me and make sure that I'm working on my family. We're building a house right now. That should be done
Congrats.
within the next 3 or 4 months. Thank you, man.
Wow.
So I have things like that, and then ultimately, and I kind of do this right now, but I want to do this on a larger scale, is helping these newer designers who are getting into the space, who are just like so ready to, hit up whatever celebrity and be like, hey, I'll work for free for you. I'll do this, I'll do that. And along that process, they're like throwing all their rights away throwing their future away because like it's essentially attorneys that are making them sign things that they don't really have as much of a financial future because of that,
Wow.
or they don't have the know-how to do certain things. So I want to continue to help inspire and lead the new generation of these like gig economy entrepreneurs, because like I mean we've been talking a little bit about the future. That's what it is. Like
Yeah.
you think about these companies and VBI who offer opportunities to designers to just like go out there and do what they're passionate about and give them like the permissionless freedom to just go kill it,
Mm-hmm.
as long as like they've established like their basic company structure or they have an LLC as a designer, whatever the case
This
may
is
be.
dope.
Like we gotta help young creatives be better about that, and so
Yeah.
that's what you can expect out of me personally for the next 5 years as well.
Fire. I'm glad to hear that because of like high school and college are about to get heavy into the esports scene. Meaning now we have even more gamers, and I feel like if there's one thing but one thing I want to see people start doing more that are like professional gamers do more is like just make content. Like hire somebody to do like whatever, but
Right.
get content out there. Just because I feel like for example, 100 Thieves do a perfect job of this as far as like when they sign somebody, that person is getting a lot of exposure.
Right.
But I feel like for brands that aren't big as 100 Thieves, the best thing you can do to get signed maybe is to get exposure and make sure you're putting content out there to where now you're leveraging. Like you have leverage on your side at least. But that's
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Yeah, they're absolutely crushing it, and it takes a village to do what they're doing over there. We have huge respect for that production team over there.
No, 100%. They're monsters across the board. I'm kind of scared. 2021. I'm gonna say it in this podcast right here. 2021 orgs that I think will dominate 2021 is 100 Thieves, NRG, and Envy. Even though those are NA teams, I'm not gonna get to the other teams. NA, because I'm in NA. Those are the teams I'm putting chips on, just because. I don't know. You gotta say something?
Keep an eye out for XSET.
XSET too. Yes. No. 100% XSET.
XSET's up next. They're crushing it right now.
Yeah. They just signed, Jared FPS too? Sheesh.
I think so, yeah. They've been on a roll.
Yeah. And I'm glad to see something new as far as like what their angle is with the whole thing. I love that a lot. I think that's important. And I think that's where a lot of these brands might get caught up at. Like, I feel like if you don't fix it now, it's gonna bite you in the end a little bit. So,
yeah, for sure.
But
for sure.
I thank you for being on.
Yeah, thank you, man. Always wanted to link up and be on the pod, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm actually excited. I've been fans of VBI. I've never really knew who was behind it. It's like now to be able to talk to you and see who it is. It's like, yo, it's so funny, and to see that you play Clash Royale. No, 100%. Yeah, I see those guys. Yeah, they make videos on their Twitter account. I'm like, yo, this is like a cool team. Like it feels like family and fun behind the scenes there. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a family. Yeah. So we always joke around like we bleed green over there. So that's my family.
Listen, guys, I wasn't able to get the leak of VBI's announcement in 1 to 2 months, but it's going to be big. Do you have anything you want to say? Where can they follow you at and stuff like that?
My Twitter is AskCalebLeigh, and then VBI is @VBI, and then of course the website and all that good stuff. So.
All right, guys, this is episode 8. I always forget what episode this is, but I think this is episode 8. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, go follow Caleb, and go follow VBI and the team behind there. Appreciate you guys, and peace.